EA Sports. It's in the game.
Welcome to the introduction of the NHL 07 season. I'm hoping that song, the tune I just played, won't have any copyright infringements muting my whole video like YouTube did to my Star Wars video, but if so, I'll just have to do it over without the song. So anyway, it's going to be the introduction to the full season, which I'm going to be running simultaneously with the hockey season, or the football season, Tecmo Super Bowl 3 Final Edition, which I've already started, and I'll be going through that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show the schedule first on what we're going to be doing. So, I have to do this thing. Okay, so anyways, this is what this calendar looks like in NHL. I had to modify it a little bit to put what the football schedule is going to be. So, as you can see, in September there are no hockey games scheduled. So, we started week 1, which would be dated on September 3rd. Now, this calendar is a 2006 calendar, so it has nothing to do with the real date on our calendars that we use. This is just calendar I'm using so I can run the two seasons together. But anyways, we're already seeing week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of football. Move on to October, and we had week 5, which would have been Sunday the 1st, and that's where hockey season starts. Now, this calendar we're seeing here, the schedule, is the Blackhawks Schedule, which is the team I'll be playing. In case you're not familiar with my full season videos, there's always one team that I play, and the rest are all computer teams. So like the Tecmo football games, I always play as the Packers. My baseball game, I played as the Chicago White Sox. The hockey games, I play as the Chicago Blackhawks. So we'll see the Blackhawks play multiple games. For all the other teams, we'll only see them play one regular season game, and the computer will control each one of those. As for the playoffs, we'll get to see all the playoff games, but it's going to be one game elimination, and the computer will control those too for the teams that aren't the Blackhawks. But anyway, I'm going to be jumping back and forth between football and hockey depending on where the schedule meets with the hockey schedule and the football schedule meet up. So you see week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in October. November we'll see week 10, 11, 12, 13 of football going with hockey. December we've got the week 14 through 17 and round 1 of the playoffs. Now, the reason this calendar looks kind of weird is because I had to modify it, and I'll explain it when I show the actual calendar in the hockey game. See, they had Friday the 1st, that box they had all the way over to the left where Sunday's supposed to be, and I think the reason is for that because since Friday starts on, or the 1st is on a Friday and 31st is on a Sunday, that puts 6 weeks in the calendar, and they only had it, the calendar made up for 5 weeks, so they really couldn't fit the 31st and 24th together. But it looked kind of weird, so I had to kind of modify it just so it would be less confusing. Anyway, in January we'll see round 2, and we'll see conference championship on the week of the 14th, and we'll skip a week where nothing's going on except for hockey. We'll see the All-Star game, and I'm not sure right now if there are any other games scheduled for that week. It looks like we don't have any. Anyways, January 28th we have the Super Bowl. February 4th we have the Pro Bowl. After that, the football season's over and we just continue on with the hockey season. Now back to the game. I'm going to go ahead and go to game modes, season, NHL, new, and league name I'll go ahead and change that to, I'll just put YouTube, or maybe I'll just go, okay, so you press the shift button, it jumps to numbers. So you have to use all capital letters. Even the caps button. Okay, that's one messed up keyboard. Not sure how many letters you do. Okay, that's it. 7 letters is the longest your season name can be. A skill level, there's beginning, easy, medium, difficult. I'll put it on easy. It might be a little rusty, I haven't played in a while. Period length, I'm going to put on 5 minutes. Now, when they show it on the actual clock in the game, it'll say 20 minutes, but it'll go down real quick, so it'll average about 5 minutes. Season length, we're going to do a full 82 games. Starting rosters, we're going to do current. Now, these rosters aren't necessarily all from the year 2007. I've made some modifications, updated, especially the Blackhawks. For example, Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews of the Blackhawks were not in this game when it was made, so I had to create them. But this game is like 6 years old, so a lot of the rosters are going to be from that time period, but I tried changing the rosters. If there's any players that I know got traded, I went ahead and traded them. But season tiebreaker is going to be 5 minutes, then a shootout. All-Star game, we're going to have East against the West. And I'll go to check out the penalties. Fighting will be about the same. Injuries are going to be on. Offsides will be delayed. Icing is going to be on. 2-line pass off. Playoffs, we're going to have single knockout. Playoff tiebreaker, continuous overtime. Season overtime loss, 1 point. Hero rating, I'm not really sure what that is. Computer trading, no. Assistant coach edits lines, no. I want to edit my own lines. And I keep the hero rating on because I really don't know what it does. Okay, now it says choose a team. Okay, so now this is going to be the opening game. We're going to see here the Blackhawks at Predators. And we'll just take a look at the Blackhawks rosters. Okay, got Jonathan Toews, Brian Bickle, Marian Hossa on the... Actually, that's not the way I want it. Patrick Kane going to be on my starting line, so these need to be modified. Michael Handzus is back, but I'm going to have Patrick Sharp right there. And actually, I think I'm going to wait to do these lines. I'm going to go ahead and continue on talking about the season now. Go with the calendar. Okay, now this is the Blackhawks schedule, their calendar now. So we're going to see Blackhawks play 7 road games and 8 home games. And then we're going to see 8 games that are non-Blackhawk games, which will be computer versus computer. And I'll go ahead and go over those games. First, in October, we're going to see the Blackhawks at Nashville right here. October 20th, just down here, we're going to see Vancouver at St. Louis. Then on the 26th, we got Blackhawks at Pittsburgh. On the 28th, we're going to see Washington at Edmonton, and we're going to see Anaheim at Chicago. November, we're going to see Detroit at Chicago, which is right here. Then we got the 9th. Actually, I'm not going to move the cursor around, it's too annoying. November 9th, we're going to see Chicago at New Jersey. 17th, we'll see Colorado at Columbus. In December, we're going to see Toronto at Chicago, Boston at Chicago on the 29th. And then on the 31st, we're going to see Montreal at Carolina. January, we're going to see Phoenix at Chicago, Minnesota at Chicago, and then we got, Phoenix at Chicago's on the 7th, Minnesota at Chicago at the 14th. I guess I really didn't need to, well, I guess the Phoenix game didn't need to be mentioned because there's only one there, but the Minnesota game, there's 2 of them, so the 14th is going to be Minnesota at Chicago. 24th, we got the All-Star game, East at West, and it's going to be computer controlled. February, on the 6th, we got Chicago at Calgary. 15th, also on the 6th, we got Los Angeles Kings at the Tampa Bay Lightning. February 15th, we got Chicago at Philadelphia. On the 18th, we got Chicago at New York Rangers. On the 22nd, we got San Jose Sharks at Chicago Blackhawks. At 25th there, you see flashing, that's the trade deadline. But I'm not going to do any trades. In March, we're going to see Ottawa at Chicago. We got the New York, that's on the 4th, by the way, as you can see. 17th, we got the New York Islanders at Florida Panthers. On the 18th, we got the Buffalo Sabres at the Atlanta Thrashers. And in April, we only got one game. That's going to be the final regular season game, Chicago at Dallas on April 8th. So that is our schedule for the full season. And I suppose since this is the intro and I'm doing the Chicago Blackhawks, I will finish it up with changing my lines. So I'm going to have Taves, Kane, and Hossa on my starting line. Sharp's going to be my centerman for my... So they got in as right winger, but Sharp does take face off, so there's been a few modifications. For example, Dustin Byfuglien was a defenseman in this game, and he turned out to became a winger. He's not with the Blackhawks in this game anymore. I traded him because he got traded in the real NHL, but some of these players don't play with the Blackhawks anymore. Like Dave Bolin, I'm pretty sure he got traded. But I changed them for the most part. Some of these players will be from the previous season or 2 seasons ago. But I try to update most of them. For the other winger, I suppose we'll put Victor Stahlberg out there. And now John Scott, he's one of their fighters, so he's going to be on the checking line. I put Brunette on this line. Okay, Bolin we're going to keep there. Okay, Stahlberg we already got on the line, so we're going to have to take him off and put maybe for a week. Got Fernando Persani. Check out my other wingers and see if there's any I don't have on there. Okay, Brunette, we're going to take him out. He's not a center. He's not a centerman. He's a winger. We're going to put on Zeus right there. We'll keep Jamal Mayers in, and we'll put John Scott. He's been traded like a couple years ago, I think. So maybe we'll see if we can find another winger. Bickle. There we go. So we got Mayers and Bickle. Defense, we got Seabrook and Keith. Okay, I don't think O'Donnell's on the team anymore. Johnson we're going to put there. Okay, we only got like, okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only got 5 defensemen. That is messed up. Okay, so I mean, we need at least, we should have like 7 or 8 defensemen. I don't know who I got rid of that I shouldn't have, but we're going to have to go to free agents. And okay, that's not going to work either. Trade players. Okay, can't go to the free agent pool here. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can. Here's the free agent pool. So, I gotta look up some old players, defensemen that I used to have on my team, and maybe put them back on. Just because I desperately need another defenseman. Jordan Hendry, I could probably put him back on even though he's not with him anymore. Michael Holmquist was another one. Oh no, he's a centerman. I don't know what I was thinking when I started getting rid of some of my players. Okay, that's all the defensemen, so I'm going to go back and put on Jordan Hendry, which I had to create myself because he wasn't in the game either, like when he was with the Blackhawks. See, every time the Blackhawks trade a player for another player, I tried to trade those players too in the game. Okay, now I got to go back to my lines. They change every time you add a new player. Oh, maybe they don't in this game. Okay, I think since I dressed him, I got to bench another player. I'll pick like a centerman or a winger that I don't plan on using. And I don't see anybody. I think I used every player on the team. Okay, we got 10 wingers. We only used 8 of them. One of them was used as a centerman, so that's a total of 9, so there should be one winger that we don't have used. We have Bickle on the checking line, Burnett's on the second line, Frolik's on the third line, got Holson and Kane on the first line, Mears is on the checking line, John Scott, that's the one that we didn't use. We'll save him for backup in case we get an injury. Okay, now Jordan Hendry's our only offensive defenseman, the rest of are all defensive defensemen. And I get a kick out of this Seabrook and Keith that says their chemistry is +0. In the real NHL, they got those two on the team. I didn't create either of these players. These are the real Brent Seabrook and Denton Keith that Electronic Arts designed in the game. And they are always on the line together. Okay, now power play line. Put Patrick Sharp in here too. And I don't know where. There we go, Duncan Keith. And I'll have to change this around a little bit. Yeah, keep this pretty much the same. I like to change them up a little bit. I guess we'll pretty much keep most of that for the most part. I don't know why they keep putting Brian Bickle in every position. They had him on the starting line, now they got him on my hero line. I'm going to put my power play line pretty much the same, except I'll put Seabrook in instead of Keith. Shootout, we usually have, I think Sharp usually shoots first for the Blackhawks. And Taves. And we get Kane. For the other two, I go with Hossa. As well Stalbert. Stalbert's another player I had to create. Actually, take a look at all the players I created Bickle, Boland, can't remember if I created Frolik or not. No, I don't think I did create him, but Jordan Hendry I had to create. Nicholas Jalmerson, I was able to find him on a team that wasn't an NHL team, it was like a whatever country he's from. So there were a few players I was able to do that too, like Antiniemi. I also found him on like the Sweden team or whatever. I think he's from Sweden or Finland, maybe. I only found him on that team, his team, and brought him to the NHL. Patrick Kane I had to create. John Scott I had to create. Victor Stahlberg's another one. Jonathan Taves is one. So right there's like 7 players. And my goalies, we're going to have Crawford and Hobby Booland. And it looks like... Whoops, wrong button. And that's my introduction to the NHL season. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in hockey games and or football games, feel free to subscribe to my channel, where I am just starting the hockey season, and I have recently started the football season, Tecmo Super Bowl 3 Final Edition. I also have previous full sports seasons like Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES, Tecmo Super Bowl on the Super NES, Tecmo Super Bowl 2 Special Edition on the Super NES, and now I'm doing Tecmo Super Bowl 3 Final Edition on the Super NES. I also did a full season of NHL 99 on the PlayStation. Kind of messed up schedule because the game kept freezing up, my old camera kept breaking down, so I was having quite a few technical difficulties during that season. But also did a full season of MLBPA baseball on the Super Nintendo. So, and I also do uploads of other games. I've got tons of games on my channel, like Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games. We've got some N64 games, some PlayStation games, some PS2 games. I'm still buying Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games, which is what we're probably most likely going to be seeing on my channel in the future. More of them than pretty much any other system. So hope you enjoyed the intro, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be the opening game of the NHL season.